Here's the fastest way to level up your heavy armor and light armor skills to level 100 completely AFK early on. In fact, we can also level up our block skill to level 100 at the same time if you want to. I'm also going to tell you what's better, light armor or heavy armor, and which one should you go for. So starting out, if you want to level up both your light armor and heavy armor skills at the same time, just equip both sets of armor onto your character. Alternatively, just equip one armor type if you want to level up that skill specifically. Now, there are several locations you can visit to do this method, but by far the best one is the Haunted Mine, and that's located south of the Imperial City and then southeast from Breville, across this river just here on the map, near the Nibbon Valley. And you can come here straight away even at level 1. Once you arrive at the cave, you'll find a few goblins that you can easily kill. And then if you just head inside, the first section of the cave is just a linear pathway that will lead you to the haunted caverns at the end. So just head through the caves until you reach it. In the next area, you'll want to head straight east through the linear caves once again until you reach my map marker just here. And that's where you're going to find the rat pen. Now, once you arrive at the rat pen, make sure you're on a harder difficulty setting. And then when you jump into the pen itself, you'll need to punch each one of these rats in order to aggro them and get them all to attack you at once. Otherwise, they won't actually attack you first for some reason. And because we're playing on a harder difficulty right now, we won't accidentally kill any of the rats when we punch them, because they have more health and we do less damage. Now, in Oblivion Remastered, both the light armor and the heavy armor skill increase based on the amount of times you get attacked. So the damage received doesn't affect how fast you level up at all. This means that the best way to level up your armor skills really fast is just to turn down the difficulty all the way to novice, so enemies do much less damage to you. You can then find a large group of weak enemies to attack you, like this. And the rats are going to push you about, but they'll naturally keep you in the center. So all 6 of them can attack you at once easily. Obviously though, this means we're going to be taking damage. So now we have a few options to actively heal ourselves depending on your goals. Firstly, we can use the restoration spell, like Heal Minor Wounds, which is the spell you start with at the start of the game. And if you actually hold down the casting button or tape it down or use an auto clicker on PC, this allows you to leave the game completely AFK, since we are now out healing the damage that the rats deal to us. And after turning down the difficulty, you can see that we're healing faster than they're damaging us. Even though your magicka runs out completely, you'll still out-heal the damage that they deal. And obviously this also levels up our restoration skill at the same time. But it is not the fastest way to level up your restoration skill. I'll have another guide on that, which I'll link below in the future. Because leveling up your restoration skill is actually based on the amount of magicka you're using to cast the spell, not how many times you're casting it. Now, don't worry if your armor breaks during this leveling process. Your armor skills will level up, even if your armor's broken. The only difference is that because your armor's broken, it won't provide any damage resistance, but you can still wear broken armor, therefore you can still level up your light armor and heavy armor skills. So we can now go AFK for an hour, make a cup of tea, and then we'll reach level 100 light armor and heavy armor just by using this method. However, do bear in mind that you will need to click off the Journeyman, Expert, and Master skill pop-ups as you level up. But what happens if you don't want to level up your restoration skill? Well, that means we actually need another method of healing. And also, I'll show you how to level up your block skill as well. Now, if you're early on in the game, you can actually get unlimited health potions by using the duplication exploit. To do the duplication exploit, all you need to do is go and find any empty container. Like if you go to the Imperial Market District, you can just go and find a barrel, empty everything out of it, and then you press the button at the bottom here to search. Then go to your inventory, put in one item that you want to duplicate back into the barrel, and we're going to be using the potion of healing for this. And then we're going to go back to our inventory and we're going to use this stack of 66 iron arrows. And if you don't have like a cheap stackable item, just go and buy some iron arrows from the store. But any stack of any item will work. And now we're going to press A and RB on Xbox at the same time. Or on PlayStation, it would be R1 and X. And now we're here, we can double tap X or A on Xbox. And now if we check our inventory, we have 66 potions of health. We can now do this same thing again, just put 1 health potion back in, then duplicate it again with the arrows, and we get another 66 health potions. So in total, we have 131 health potions of healing. And this works with any item or armor in the game, essentially also giving you unlimited gold, because you can just go ahead and sell everything. So now we have unlimited healing potions, we can just go ahead and hotkey the health potions and use them whenever we need to heal up. But to be honest, at this super low difficulty, you're really not losing a lot of health anyway. And you could still set up a keyboard timer and go AFK using this healing method. But now, to level up your block skill in Oblivion Remastered all the way to level 100 as fast as possible, we can actually use the exact same method as the armor skills. Since your block skill also levels up based on how many times you get attacked. So the more enemies you have attacking you at once, the faster your block skill will level up. Again, it doesn't matter how much damage they're doing to you. So make sure you unequip your shield for this and just go ahead and block with your fists. Because once your shield breaks, it'll just get unequipped anyway. And obviously make sure that you have some heavy or light gauntlets equipped to level up your armor skill at the same time while blocking. And now we're leveling up our block skill, light armor skill, and heavy armor skill all at the same time. And once you reach level 100 in your block skill, you'll actually unlock the ability to shield bash, which is really cool. Now with the changes to shield bash in Oblivion Remastered, you now get the ability to shield bash on command, unlike in the original game. And the shield bash ability is unlocked at level 75 block skill, so actually quite late into the game unless you're grinding it up like I just showed you. But it is hilarious, especially if you get the killing blow with a shield bash. It just knocks people flat. And when you shield bash an enemy, they're going to get staggered, which opens them up for an attack. In fact, if you shield bash at the right time, either while they're trying to power attack you or even mid spellcasting animation, you can cancel their attack. Even enemies who are blocking, you can shield bash them and it opens them up for another attack. It obviously does take a lot of stamina to shield bash someone though. And unfortunately, it doesn't work with two-handed weapons. So if you are trying to play a character who's a two-handed build, also using block, you can't shield bash. Really, shield bashing is a lot of fun, so it kind of sucks that you can't do it with a two-handed weapon like you could in like Skyrim. So do bear that in mind, that is a big advantage to having a shield. Also at master level block, your shield bash deals 150% damage, which is pretty brutal. But you may be wondering what's better, the heavy armor skill or the light armor skill? Well, firstly, at level 100 heavy armor, your armor no longer encumbers you, which means you can run, sneak around, or move as quickly as if you were wearing no armor. Heavy armor also has more health than light armor, so it doesn't need to be repaired as often. Obviously, heavy armor still weighs a lot though, but you can counteract that by just using the featherweight spell on yourself. Light armor, on the other hand, becomes weightless once you reach expert at level 75. Then you get an additional 50% bonus light armor rating at level 100. This makes the better light armor sets, like Elven and higher, give you the same armor rating as the best heavyweight armor sets, like Ebony and Daedric armor, basically making both armor sets as good as each other for physical damage mitigation. However, this only happens at level 100 light armor. So overall, heavy armor is always going to be better until you reach level 100. Now, if you're grinding it out like this, you can do that pretty quickly, making them pretty much the same, but you might not want to play the game like this. But if you want other exploits like this for leveling, check out the Oblivion skill playlist right here for even more like it.